Good evening, everybody. It is August 22nd. I'm Gun-On-Dime, call me Dine, and here we're going to begin our Let's Play of Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. One of my all-time favorite Super NES RPGs. If it's not in the top 3, it's definitely in the top 5. We have our little intro movie here to introduce the characters and set up the plot of the game. 3 glowing balls leave from a mysterious mountaintop. The 4th one enters. Now, these voices I'm doing are not going to be final.
Master!
Kareem, I would like to ask you something.
Yes, sir!
Who should rule, we Sinistrals or humans?
There is no doubt in my mind that we should rule. But why do you ask that, sir?
Judgment time with the dual blade has come.
Are you saying the dual blade is resonating?
Would you go?
Yes, sir.
Mysterious indeed. So aside from that prologue, we have a nice little flyover of the world map. It's an absolutely huge world, and they make use of it everywhere. Every time you go to a new town, there's basically a dungeon next to it. So in some cases, that kind of hurts the pacing in the game, but otherwise doesn't do much harm at the same time. Here we pan over to 3 triangular islands. Fairly reminiscent of the shape of the Triforce, just upside down. But those islands will become very important fairly later on, actually all the way up until the end of the game. But they're introducing them now. Classic title screen here with the F forming the shape of a sword. I don't know if that's the generic sword or the dual blade that Eric was talking about. Here we have the upcoming character introduction.
I heard there are monsters in the North Cave!
Yeah.
Are you going away again?
Well, that's my job.
Be careful!
I'll be alright.
You always say that, but I always worry.
I'll get them, but you have to buy them, Tia.
I will.
Well, see ya. Did a very poor job hiding that voice crack. Oh, Guy, you're here? Hilda, what's up? Jessie was looking for you. Really? She was upset. Did you do something? Oh. Yeah? I forgot our date and went to get monsters. Typical. No wonder Jessie's angry. Women don't get it. It's a man thing. I get it, all right. You prefer monsters. He's Batman. He prefers his work over his love life. I don't know why. I just felt appropriate to give those guys Irish accents, even though I kind of stink at them. Lemmy's a crybaby. Lemmy's a crybaby. Crybaby. Hey, you boys, you should be nice to girls. Oh, okay, right. I totally failed. Oh, no, it's Celine! Run! I'll come up with a better voice for her. Celine!
Listen carefully, Lemmy. They're wrong, but try to be strong. cry! My father said it's okay for girls to cry! Listen, a woman's tears should...
Should what? Well, we never find out. I say there's no one who can beat me! Monsters are all over the North Labyrinth! Chill, good man. With my sword, I'll get whacked by the prince and go flying over the castle. Up, up, away! Where are the monsters? In the North Labyrinth, Your Highness. Excellent! Joseph, follow me! Yes, Your Highness. Sir Deckard! I get it! So that's how it works! Great Scott! I understand at last! I'll start work right now!
Looks like Lexus is off inventing again.
His inventions never work the way they should.
Yeah, he sank a ship with his last one. What was that invention anyway?
A machine to move ships without wind.
Oh, that's right. Hey, your memory's pretty good.
Yeah, because it was my ship that went under. The guy destroyed my entire livelihood, and here I am just sulking about it. He's not paying me back or anything.
Milka, wait. Altea!
Milka, where have you been these days?
I'm not acting suspiciously at all, Altea.
The worst thing you can do is lie to yourself.
But Altea, the people in the city...
Milka, say nothing more.
Mother... Altea is aware of everything.
Karen.
Altea, it must be really hard on you, too.
Which of us is really transient on Earth? Dual Blade, do you have the real answer? And so this will return us back to the Natsume title screen, so we're just going to jump right into the main game as soon as the titles scroll by again. I'll let the intro start up again, but it has to go in at least that far. Now on this run, I'm going to do the retry option. You have the start or the retry option. There's no discernible difference in the story itself, but retry gives you 4 times the experience in gold, and it basically saves on grinding time. So for the sake of the fact that this is live, we're going to go with that, so I don't have to spend so much time on-screen grinding or even off-screen grinding. And it's unlocked when you beat the game to begin with. And our hero's name is Maxim by default, so we're going to stick with that. And he lives in the village of Outset. Here we're going to pick up where we left off for the prologue. Tia, are you home?
Hi, Maxim, how was work today?
Alright, I got 6 jellies.
Let's see, that'll be 120 gold pieces, right?
Wait a minute, Tia. I said 6 jellies. That comes to 180 gold pieces.
Look, monsters are cheap these days. The city's suffering, so I can't pay the top price.
Yeah, it's true. More monsters every day.
It's spooky, you know.
No, I should appreciate it, though. I'm a monster hunter. I'd lose my job without them.
Maxim, have you thought about getting an ordinary job?
What is an ordinary job, anyway?
Let's see, like a shop owner, perhaps?
A shop owner? That'll be the day.
How can he be so insensitive?
He's just dense. did you say something to you?
Forget it! Here's your money!
And you immediately regain control. If you walk in and talk to her again, she serves as the item shop, and we already have a nice array of items. Going out and fighting a little bit to be able to afford the basic necessities in terms of better equipment. This game isn't hard, but it's one of those where you want to earn enough money everywhere you go to buy the latest equipment. That'll keep you on top of things. It doesn't take very long. Just going around talking to the townsfolk, you'll learn a bit more about the life in the peaceful village they have. The inn is nice and free. I didn't really need to do that, but anyway. Sundleton is a town north of Outset. It seems that every area in this game is inaccessible by foot. You have to go through a cave, a tunnel, or a teleportation. Here's a brief magic tutorial. Especially since this is a sequel to the first game, there's no one such thing as a one enemy or all enemy spell anymore. It's any spell for any enemy, and also any spell for any ally too. You can select one, all, or as many as you need to, and the damage is distributed based on that amount. I'll be able to show that later. And it's one of the little touches in this battle system that makes it completely unique. I don't even know I'm breaking the fourth wall. Do you know, Maxim? And here you have the spell selection. These are unusual spell names. Strong is your first healing spell. If you push X while highlighting a spell, you'll be able to see a description of it. And the same thing goes for weapons and items. If we go back out over here, the church is where you're able to revive party members, undo status ailments, and remove curses, as well as save the game. This guy just tells you what I just did. So curing is reduce status ailment, lift curses, and we'll just save our game here. Since I started that file to overwrite the spoilerific practice file I had, since I replayed the game recently. There's our first kind of plot point. Little kids saw that red ball. We know it was a ream, but they don't. And the usual RPG beginning of something bad's going to happen. I have a bad feeling about this. So there's nothing to do in town. We might as well just leave. And that old guy catches up to us. Oh, it's you, Maxim. This is a good time to show you my secret techniques for fighting in dungeons. I'll wait for you at the dungeon south of here. So we're going to go right and follow him. It's just a quick jump. We'll get to the world map a little bit. You took so long, Maxim. Let's go ahead and start the lesson for secret techniques in the dungeon. First, the important thing is to learn the patterns of the monster's movements. Monsters move only when you move, so don't worry even if the monster is in front of you. Oh good, I see a jelly there. Why don't you try to get that jelly? So this guy will take one step to your two, and you initiate encounter in dungeons by attacking him. Now, the battle screen, you have a graphics-based menu. This one will shift positions. Of course, this Maxim one with party member that does nothing. The bottom is to run. Then you enter the attack menu. You have your attack, the sword, item for the pouch, spell for the wand, defend for the shield, and here you have your IP attack, which is a special attack kind of based on limit breaks. If you look at the bottom meter with IP, it fills as you take damage, and you can unleash certain special attacks when you have various weapons equipped, as well as armor. We'll get into more of those later. And of course, you can just select an attack. Maxim should be able to one-shot these guys. And you just see how well you did. You'll always get to keep track of how close an ally is to the next level. That's our Maxim! Jellies are nothing for him! But don't get cocky. Some monsters are fast, getting 2 steps to your 1. Also, when there are many monsters in a room, don't let them surround you. Of course, the monsters move only when you move, so stop and think before you act. Initiating a little bit of a dungeon crawler roguelike element in these dungeons. Good, let's move on to the next room. Enter from the door above. So here we have another jelly. In this room, we will learn how to use skills. Press the select button to display the skills you have. Select the skill you wish to use. Now you have only the skill arrow, but you will receive more. Incidentally, arrows can freeze enemy movements for a while. Press the Y button to shoot them. When you hit an enemy with an arrow, it's temporarily paralyzed. Bumping into a paralyzed enemy doesn't lead to a battle. Skills never run out, so shoot an arrow when you don't feel like fighting. Select the skill you wish to use with the select button and press the Y button to use it. You'll use your skills most in dungeons. Actually, only in dungeons. You can fight that jelly there or use the skill to stop its movement and not fight. It's up to you. So we just open the menu like you said. Select the arrow. And we just hit it a couple times. The enemies will unfreeze after about 6 steps if I remember correctly. Now one thing you want to do in battle is if you just want to go quickly, hold the L button. That'll auto-select everything. And max battle level up. Same thing for after battle, just hold the L button, it'll quickly scroll through everything. That's one thing that makes this game very quick, very fast paced. The bridge gave way, but can be crossed when the switch in the back is turned on. The switch is not within your reach. We're in trouble, we can't go on! I was just kidding. You can also use skills in a situation like this. Arrows are not only to stop enemy movement. Why don't you hit that switch with an arrow? I just showed a little trick that can be used a little bit. Okay, it's just a reiteration of what it told us. The door to the room above is locked. Can you find the key to open it? Can you see the switch at the upper left? Stand on top of it. Now we can see where this is going. You just hold A. You'll be able to push pillars. There are some things that can be pulled, but not everything. Oh, you solved it already. I see. That's our Maxim. Go on upstairs. That's right, Maxim. Please wait a moment. I almost forgot. He's going to give us the most useful spell in the game right away. I forgot to give you this one very precious spell. You can't survive the dungeon without it. It's Reset. When you solve a trick, or puzzle, in this room by pushing something, you must remember one thing. Although you can push the pillars, you can't pull them. In other words, if you push a pillar against a wall or door, you can do nothing more. But don't worry, there is a reset spell that sets it all up again. This spell sends you back in time to when you just entered the room. It will also reset monsters, but the beautiful thing is you will keep experience and such from fighting them. Everything in this room returns to its original position, including the monsters. Reset does not take any MP, thus you can use it as many times as you wish. Possess the spell and you'll have nothing to fear. I shall give you the reset spell. Appropriate fanfare. You can also find the reset on the skill ring. Press select and up or down on the control pad. Whenever you see arrows like those on the cliff on the right, you can jump down. Give it a try. He has no follow-up, so I'm just going to get out of this room. The next door will be open when you defeat all the monsters. When you can't find any devices or tricks, one way to solve a problem is to defeat all the monsters. So we're going to approach this guy from the side. You'll sometimes get a first strike if you approach from the side. It's almost a guarantee if you approach from behind. So you're almost already at level 3 just from 3 battles in this game. Shout out to the battle theme. This is one of the best battle themes on the Super NES. Yeah, the soundtrack as a whole on this game is very good, not the best, but there are some exceptions, namely the battle and boss themes. And one particular dungeon theme I really like. This one's fairly normal. Press the B button to swing your sword. You can cut grass using the sword. Sometimes switches are hidden under the grass. Why don't you try to find one? So just push B to whack away the bushes. Yeah, this one's fairly obvious. Fortunately, we don't have to push anything on it. Press the A button to pick up and put down the vase. This is a unique skill. Press the control pad while pressing the R button to change direction without moving. You need the skill to change direction when there's nowhere else to turn. Don't forget how to use the R button. See, I already did that earlier. Let's see, what do you think will happen if you put the pot on that slate? Why don't you try? So let me just turn around. I'll open that up and open the door. We just do the same thing. I always found Maxim's up and down walking animation to be fairly interesting. It looks like he's limping. And here we are back at the beginning. Well, I guess I finished the lesson. Of course, you have only begun to learn. To get through many dungeons, you must try many different things. It's not easy to do, but I'm certain you'll make it. Well, I must be off. Good thing. That guy's making my voice, my throat sore. I'm going to be hoarse by the end of this LP, I know it. There's just so much more dialogue than there was in Mystic Quest. So if you go back to town, you'll be able to advance the plot a little bit by talking to T again. I'm going to go in here and get a little bit of money. It won't take long at all. You probably need only 400 or so. While this game has some very great spell animations, you really don't need to use it for offensive purposes. Your weapons and special attacks will be more than enough to get you through the whole game. I'll be sure to show them off when I can. But to begin with, we're just going to want to be able to heal. So I'm actually starting this a couple of days earlier than planned. I finally decided to do this over Dragon Dew, even though it's longer, has a lot more dialogue and such. It'll be a good project for the next couple of weeks. And I was really excited today because I just finished Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and I also finished the remake. That'll be my next project. And I found out today that Nintendo Caprice Sun, my main inspiration, is also LPing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. And he probably planned that in advance, but it's really awesome to find out that we're doing the same thing. So I'm definitely going to be watching his version of it. And he'd already covered a few things I didn't in terms of gameplay and even humor. And since we have different styles, it's going to be a fun experience. I should be able to get through without needing to rest at the end, but of course here we just have 10 potions in our skill arrow. And looking at the rest of the menu, you have spell. The capsule won't be activated until later. Later on, you'll be able to get guest monsters to join your party called capsule monsters. The equip menu is standard. You can select individual items, equip what's best, remove all, or drop anything. The status menu is standard. Of course, it shows your stats, how much you need, and the charge percentage of your IP meter. Change is just to reposition your party. Config menu, fairly standard for an RPG. I'm going to stick with the fast message and the memory battle cursor. Since even if you're in battle, the cursor will always reset to default to attack by default. The memory only comes into play when you're looking up spells, and the scenario items are just key items. That list is far longer than it needs to be. So a couple more battles, we'll be ready to move on. Now, I did mention this in the Mystic Quest video. There is a remake of this game for the DS. And they turned it into more of an action RPG than a traditional turn-based, but it still retains the same puzzle elements and such. I will be talking about that more as we go on. But the main thing is it's a lot shorter, mainly because they improved the pacing to remove a lot of elements from this version that don't contribute much to the plot, but are good moments for character development. So it's kind of a yin-yang relationship. There we go, I have more than enough money, I just wanted to get that level up. So I come back into town, I'm going to hit the magic shop and rest up first because there's a scene with Tia when I go back and talk to her. So I just want the strong spell. I don't think Maxim can use poison, but I'm not gonna stick around and grind to find that out for the moment. I'll do that off screen. I'll do most of my grinding off screen, even though it's only 4 times, even though it is 4 times faster than normal. I don't think I ever had to grind when playing through the game originally, just for, well, not in terms of experience, but for equipment. I'm not even use save states on this one. I don't need them.
Hey, Maxim, I was just about to have dinner. Would you care to join me?
Love to. This scene is in the remake, too. It's pretty much the exact same thing.
I made something special, Maxim. Wait a minute, okay?
This song will have a very strong presence later on.
Ta-da! It's fish pot pie made of Navarola, the phantom fish.
Oh, so this is Navarola, huh? I've never heard of it before, I've heard of it before, but never seen it.
I know, I've never seen it either. What's it taste like, I wonder? Let's dig in.
Well, let's see. Itadakimasu!
How is it?
What shall I say? Tia, why don't you try some?
I will. Here goes.
And?
This is pretty bad. Well, that's what this is.
You think so too? It's not your cooking, it's the fish, don't you think?
Why is this called the phantom fish then?
Because it tastes so bad that nobody eats it? Something like that. I think it's called the phantom fish because no one ever sees it, Maxim.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I wanted to cook something really tasty for you.
Well, maybe it's not that bad if you cover it with lemon or something. See? That's not bad.
No, I guess you could eat it that way.
See? It's already tasting better.
Yeah, you're right. How odd. Maybe that's why it's called the phantom fish.
Well, at least on as a cheerful evening.
I guess so. Now I'm stuffed. Let me get some tea.
After 2 bites?
Here you are.
Thanks.
Say, Maxim.
Yeah?
Why are you always in battle?
Why do you ask such a thing all of a sudden?
You're the only one fighting monsters. Not many people fight to live. Why you?
I've been fighting ever since I can remember. I've never asked myself why.
I've never met anyone quite like you before.
Well, thanks for dinner. I'll make it up to you sometime.
Don't worry about it. It's no fun to eat alone anyway. Come join me again sometime, okay?
Eyelashes must be fluttering. I'd love to. Eating is something I do very well, you see? Well, bye. I gotta get out of here quickly. Spit that fish out. So if we go back in, we'll get some equipment from her. Just upgrade our equipment. And you can equip it right away or just put it in your bag. I think the shield is the only other upgrade we need at the moment. Now sometimes you will want to buy equipment for staff purposes, other times for IP purposes. Bad news, everyone! What is it? A horde of monsters appeared in the cave on the way to Sundleton! Are you sure about that?
That's horrible. Daisy, will monsters come to this city too?
No, I don't think they will, but unfortunately that's not the only problem we've got on our hands. What do you mean? The monsters have closed the door at the back of the cave. We can't get to Sundleton without the key. That's not good. So does anyone have any ideas about what we should do? Oh, no, I don't. Well, here comes the hero to save the day. Of course, I can do something. I'm going to go in there and kick those monsters' butts, man, because that's the only thing to do to advance the plot. They didn't even suggest that he go. You can just leave without talking to him. So here we have our first dungeon. Cave to Sundleton. Now you can't get in here earlier. This guy is blocking the door. A young woman, huh? Well, it wasn't Tia. We left before she did. Oh, spoiler alert. Well, it's fairly obvious from that introduction earlier that those were all the people who were going to join our party. Now, a lot of times you can stun an enemy and then approach them from behind to get a guaranteed first strike. Some of them will turn around. Since battles don't take very long at all, I'm not going to intentionally skip some. Now, if I remember correctly, this is a locked door. Actually, up here is the locked door, yep. And different enemy patterns are prevalent as well. Notice that guy, it would move about a 90-degree rotation compared to what I did. But they're good for experience at this point in the game. Okay, that's 56. I'm already at 100 for the next level up. See, that switch is permanent right there. It has a little down arrow on it, so I never have to press it again. And it's like most other RPGs, there are hidden paths throughout each area, leading to some chests, and there's some very cleverly hidden chests in this game. We'll see later on. And some of the puzzles in this game range from fairly simple to absolutely diabolical. I've played this game through at least a dozen times, and there are some that I still don't remember how to do without looking them up. So it's going to be fun when I get to that point. I can think of at least 3 that I always had a problem with. Now, I don't remember the conditions for monsters to reset on each floor. I think if you leave the screen and come back, they won't respawn, but if you go to a different floor, they will. We'll find that out. There's some fairly big dungeons throughout the game where we'll get to see that happen. And here's a switch for us. Otherwise, those pots wouldn't be there. New enemy, the moth. Taken down in one hit. I'm pretty sure this is the way to go to reach the boss, but I came down here too soon. I need to go back up and hit that orb switch. So it looks like we'll get to see if the monsters respawn or not, since we just went downstairs. Yep. And just standing next to a monster will initiate battle. At this point, again, it won't last more than 2 or 3 rounds. Which is a shame, though, because I like this battle music more than Mystic Quest. As you can see, the monsters will be in the front and back row. Take the ones in front out first. I really don't know if any weapons affects the range of hitting the front or back. We'll find that out much later on when we get Altea. And this is a dead end for now. We will need the hook shot to get across there. We don't get that until much later. So that's just one of the things to remember to go and get it once you have the right item. Adding to the replay value a little bit. Of course, there is a fetch quest. Entirely optional, but you have to do it about 4 or 5 times if you want the best rewards. We'll definitely get into that when the time comes. I think that quest begins in probably the 3rd or 4th dungeon in the game, but it literally covers the whole game. There's a switch for that. Now, since that's the way to go, actually, I'm going to come back here first and get surprise attack. I want to see what's in that door to the north. Because I think there's a piece of armor in here that is always good. Okay, just a couple sets of monsters. Of course, what we need to do is outsmart the spikes here. And we don't need to put it back, but nice and orderly. Okay, life potion, that will increase your max HP. It was worth coming back for that alone. That's just good to do a sword. Yep. Oh, okay, that increases HP to maximum, doesn't it? Yeah, I think the item I was thinking was just called Life Up, something like that. It's been a few years since I played this, and I played the remake twice in between. So this is another half-blind run. My practice file wasn't very long. I'm probably just going to only practice for the sake of puzzles. Okay, there's the other chest I wanted. See, since monsters are always the same, they won't run away from you. It's best to try and just get all the chests you can in one run of the dungeon without having to come back and fight them all again, especially once you're a lot stronger than they are. Now, the escape item is just exactly what it says. It will take you outside of the dungeon. That's a surprise attack. I was just running through blind, but not a problem. Like I'm so worried about 1 HP. Okay, back over here. Now, of course, this isn't a puzzle per se. You just have to decide which groups you want to fight. You have to fight at least 2 every time you come through this room. Yeah, the old guy was right. You do not want to get surrounded by monsters because you have to beat them all. If you get caught in a battle when you have more than one group next to you, you'll have to fight all of them. And if you run away from battle, I don't remember if you get any free space to try and retreat, i.e. being able to take a few steps before you'll be able to initialize another encounter. But there are some enemies that will move faster than you, so it's often best to just take them out. Okay, there's a power potion. That will increase our strength. Let's double check. Yep. Do that life potion. I'm not sure. I'll save my game before I try and use it. You never want... Well, items are fairly plentiful. I just don't like being wasteful. I also want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, what's the point of doing the Let's Play? I'm supposed to be guiding newbies. Okay, just hit this with your sword. That extends the bridge. We can take a shortcut. Here's another group. Spiders. There's a sword in the next dungeon that's strong against insects and arachnids. I kind of wish you got it in here since there are a lot more of that enemy type. Now, if we want to get to that other set of stairs, we go through here. That first way will lead us to the boss. There's some free treasure. Okay, there's the armor I was thinking of. We'll equip that in a moment. And a magic jar. That'll either refill MP or increase your max HP. I already forgot. Okay, partially restores MP. We won't need it for a while. So we just go equip our strongest. Equip the hide armor. There we go. Okay, these tiles will heal you and save. This will restore your HP, this MP, and of course this is a save tile. And whenever that happens, you know there's going to be a boss. And here he is now. I won't give you the key to the door! Here we have our very awesome boss music. I'm going to go slower just to let it play out. This is just a back and forth exchange of blows between us and the lizard man. You just have to outlast him. This guy will appear as a regular enemy later on, but I don't think with quite as much HP. Okay, and the boss was just getting going, but we already killed him. So a nice little experience boost. Gets the key to the door. Key get. I don't get it. How could the lizardmen be smart enough to steal the key? Besides, why should the lizardmen steal the key? They gain nothing by disrupting human life. I just don't get it. This never happened before. And there's that woman the guard was talking about.
Do you wish to know why, Maxim?
Who are you? How do you know my name? I can see the future. I know your name and why you come here. Yeah, she sounds better as a stuck. Who are you? Never mind. Don't you want to know why monsters are smarter and attacking humans? Do you know why? Are you aware of the ball of red light that appeared a couple of days ago? Yes. Everything that's happened has been because of that light. What? I can't believe that a ball of light has that kind of power. I understand your doubts. It is incredible, but true. But time has begun to change. Now a mere wave, later a gigantic swell of an attack on humanity. That's ridiculous! Why are you telling me this? Because you have the power. The power to confront that swell. Me? Yes, you. Wait a minute. It's true that fighting is my job, I know, but I don't have such great power. What is this ball of light anyway? Is it monster or human? I need to know! What can I do against this humongous enemy of all humanity? It's not just you. There are others in this world who can confront this evil power. You're destined to go on a journey to meet those people and fight against evil. A journey to fight? That's right. When that ball of light appeared, your destiny was sealed. Will that ball of light really bring misfortune? And I have the power to handle that? This is all I can tell you. Whether or not you believe me and go on your journey is totally up to you. Wait! My name is Iris. I am here to ascertain your future. If you go, we may meet again. And cutscene over with the change in the music. Do a quick heal up. Now, there's really no choice. Of course, you have to go on your journey to save the world. This isn't like Golden Sun where you can get a bad ending by denying the chance to go when you're told to go. So rather than go back to town, we can just go on straight to the next area, which is Sundleton. And we'll go ahead and do the next dungeon. This video hasn't been that long. As I said, I like to go to 45 minutes to an hour or so, and often go longer, as the last LP proved. As long as my voice holds out is the main reason. And again, I forgot to get out some water. We use the door key, and we're in the next area. If we come into Sundleton, it is more of a rustic little village. Earthquake! It's like Maxim's covering his ears, or I don't know, was he surrendering or just giving the international symbol for touchdown? And of course that guy would have said that even if the cutscene hadn't triggered. We'll go in here and upgrade our magic, because it has the same spells as the last town. Okay, can't use Spark. Droplet, okay, he can use Poison. Poison actually is the antidote for poison. And Sleep will put enemies to sleep. And I just bought magic without checking out equipment first. But that's not a problem. I don't think there's much. Well, there is some we can buy. Okay. We can sell our old equipment and at least get a little bit of money back. Okay, yeah, I should have bought items first. I was just dumb of me. Okay, this guy will tell you about the IP. Listen carefully. The secret of combat is controlling rage. When you're damaged by the enemy, this increases your rage. This is IP. Also, some weapons and armors can produce special effects when you use this IP. For example, among the goods in this shop, the battle knife and the frock have IP. The battle knife IP damages enemies vulnerable to lightning. Frock IP restores HP. In other words, don't just buy equipment because it has greater attack or defense powers. What's important is what kind of IP the equipment has. Even strong enemies have their weaknesses. The key to winning in battle is to be equipped with weapons and have the IP that can hit the enemy's weakness. When you're shopping, place the cursor on the item and like to press next. See the description. When you see an IP mark next to the item, press the control pad right to see the description. It's very important to know which equipment has what IP. Thank Just imagine that guy rambling on for hours and hours and hours. So we have our first clue as what's causing the earthquake. And since legends are always true in RPGs, that's exactly the case. We gotta go tame that guy. Mainly because we can't progress until we actually move on. Now the primary reason is to just talk to people and gather information, especially on where you need to go next. I guess as Daisy, she probably caught up to us while we were exploring the region. Now these items are just restoration items. This green tea will actually be useful later, but we don't need any right now. Okay, I'm gonna go back outside a bit and fight to get those items. Since we're in a new region, the enemies will be different. As long as having some from the cave. That shouldn't take more than half a dozen bottles or so. Yeah, 96. That is a lot of money for this point in the game. And magic is probably the most expensive items you can buy in shops, with a few exceptions. There is a casino later on where you have to make obscene amounts of money to buy the best items in there, including what I believe to be the best swords in the game. We'll cover that when the time comes. So I think we needed, what, 600-700, so just a few more. If you come to this small shrine, after I take out this mosquito, that chopboard is a shield. It's definitely not better than what Maxim already has. So if we talk to this guy, yep, so the bridge is collapsed, the earthquake's prevented from being repaired, so thus we have to stop the earthquakes to get to the next area, which is our first kingdom in the game, and we'll cover that when we get there. These blue jellies are just the stronger cousins of the reds. Okay, a couple more battles. This definitely beats having to do 4 times as much grinding. And another reason why I did the retry option is there's a boss later on who you're supposed to lose to, but it's possible to beat him if you're strong enough. And I intend to show that. Okay, if I get enough experience, I'll definitely have enough money by the time I get another level. I'm already at level 8. See, doing a casual playthrough of this game, you'll probably be at level 50 or so by the time you beat it. We'll definitely be higher, thanks to the retry. There's no reason to max out your level on this game. Even the optional super boss isn't that hard. He's more of an endurance contest than anything else. And of course I will be showing him too. Okay, level up. Have more than enough gold. So we're gonna get that dagger. Nice 12 strength increase. Yep, we just need the cap. Yeah, we didn't really need it. The dagger was more important. Now there is a bug in this game. Even if you can't afford the inn, they'll let you stay over. So essentially, healing is always free. Okay, he'll tell us about castle monsters, and we'll get our first one later on. Yeah, the place he's talking about is in the next area, so he's basically searching through the wrong region. Yeah, for the right reason. Those castle monsters are coming very handy when you know how to exploit boss weaknesses. Since you have one neutral and the remaining 6 are all elementals. We'll get into those as we encounter them. Now here's the lake cave. Let's flip the switch and we have to build the bridge. There's a mosquito. We're only fighting him because he ran into me. This is already a nice little boost in attack power thanks to our new weapon. Those mosquitoes are cross-eyed too. Okay, I think we want to go left first to get some new items. The way forward will... Okay, brave and dive in, you'll find what you want on the way. Just talking about this cracked floor here. I think what we want is this one. Oh, not quite. We want the one below it. These eagles Probably the best enemies for experience this early in the game. Oh yeah, look at that, 240. So there's our save tile this early in, which makes me wonder if I'm actually going the right way in terms of avoiding the boss at the moment. Nope, you come here more than once. Now this is the first of the trickier puzzles. You have to build the bridge. Bring this panel with us, if I remember correctly. Set it right here, flip the switch. Yep. Set it here. Okay, that locked door will come into play in this run of the dungeon, I believe. New enemy, the baby frog. Another one-shot kill. Yep, definitely locked. Now, since we solved the puzzle, we don't have to worry about it again. Those panels will stay where they are. So I'll do a little backtracking. Didn't mean to run into them. But hey, I'm not going to complain about the experience either. Those frogs will just run around the edges of the screen. I think those beetles will just follow you. Now the switches... There are three switches in here. And I don't remember which ones you have to press. I think you just have to create a kind of an arrow pointing towards the one you want to go. Yep, so if we want to open this other one, stand there. No. This is either a dead end or it consists of a puzzle I'm thinking of for later. Or there's a hidden room in here. I actually don't remember this room. So just do a quick exploration along the walls. Push the bricks. So there's probably a switch under one of them. Yep, hit the stairwell. This is easy to do. Push that first one the wrong way. There's this game's version of the Zelda chime. And there's the late key that'll get us through that locked door. And most dungeons have a key inside that you have to track down first. Very much Zelda-like. Another quick 120 experience points for me. Thank you, Eagle. We'll just see what's in here. Yeah, since that enemy and I moved at the same time, we didn't actually touch each other. Check the walls here. There's almost no empty dead ends in this game. They'll usually lead to something. Yeah, we got a half dozen enemy fights. That's a no deal if there ever was one, but it's worth coming in here. Both for the experience and for the weapon you get at the end. Now, most battles will be done that quickly. Well, I can't cut, so... First time we fought beetles. Nothing to worry about. Now, item drops are fairly consistent. Most enemies will drop one common item and one rare item, if I remember correctly. And this boss, the boss in this area, has a rare item drop. I think I've gotten it once. It's just an accessory. We'll see how lucky we get. In fact, I think the bird drop a rare accessory too. Okay, the speedy ring, our first actual accessory. And it says exactly what it does. Now, accessories aren't equipped by the optimum equipment option, I don't think. So this will increase our defense and our speed. Since Maxim's our only party member, it's all we need. Oops. That was my fault. Not that these guys are a big threat. Now that rapier, I think, was available in town. We'll just see if it's any better. Yeah, in fact, that's what we just had. Yeah, the way to the chest in the back of that room is back on this other side. Yep. It's a miracle. That is this game's elixir. It'll restore one person's HP and MP completely. I think it also brings them back to life if they're incapacitated. And potions will always restore the same amount of HP on this one. So magic is usually your best way of healing. So now that we know which way we need to go, we're going to come back up here and go for that other door, because there's a sword I want to get. And even though it'll be one-shotting everything, it'll be useful for its IP ability, if I remember correctly. Now that I think about it, let's double-check that dagger we bought since the knight mentioned. Okay. Nope, that one doesn't have the IP ability. But we'll find one that does. Be able to explain it before long. Yeah, those eagles are probably the first enemy that pose a real threat. Especially when you're not playing on the retry mode. But Maxim won't be our solo party member for a while, for much longer. So you just want to shoot those enemies in the order that you killed them. I wasn't really paying attention, but if I remember correctly, that was it. Now this game has a lot of unique puzzles I've just absolutely never seen anywhere else. That was the sad thing about the remake, is it didn't have as many unique puzzles. This insect crush is what I was hoping to find. And it's exactly as it says. Insect enemies are weak against it. Now it's not as strong, but it increases our guts and has an IP ability. So you just push right, and you have a bomb attack that attacks all enemies. Very useful and later on. As more than one piece of equipment will have that IP ability. And in the hands of Decker, it's absolutely devastating. We'll get him about halfway through the game. It's not a spoiler on who joins the party since we've watched the prologue. We come back over here. Some nice healing tiles. So we're ready for the boss. Out of my way. Jelly's a smarter enemy. Yeah, I'll definitely gain a level before fighting the boss. This guy alone should provide it. Oh, yep. We're good to go. Now, there is one thing on this game that I'm not going to play through. I'll just give it a cursory examination, even though it can be considered adding to the replay value of the game. It is entirely optional. I'll be sure to cover the basics of it. That's also about halfway through. Am I going the right way? No, I'm not. I'm not. We need to. I think we're just back right over here. Oh. Okay, we have to place the panels again. Well, we already know how to do this, so it won't take very long. Yeah, some puzzles will reset, others won't. The sad thing is the most annoying ones don't, but you only have to do them once unless you're unlucky with the fetch quests later on. So here is our boss fight. It's pretty much the same as the first, only this guy's just a little tougher. Hey, it's Jabba Jabu.
Good, someone's finally made it this far, although I never expected anyone so weak. No use fighting, go home before you hurt yourself.
The earthquake Is this you who's responsible?
I was bored. I created the earthquake hoping somebody would come to me.
Your earthquake is troubling everyone. Give it up!
Well, I'll think about it, only if you can beat me. Of course, that won't happen.
So here we have our giant catfish. So we'll just trade blows with him until he goes down. Now, he's the first enemy with the special attack, seeing as it's fairly obvious he can weaponize his earthquakes. But just keep your HP about 50, you should be fine. I don't remember how much damage it does. But if you come in here, here's your spell list. Now you can rearrange your magic in the menu, but not during battle. And I had to select Maxim twice to cast a spell on him. That's one of the features, just being able to select who you wanted to cast the magic onto. Okay, that flash attack is the basic lightning spell, and that's the first thing it hurt, but he is down, and we didn't get the accessory, no surprise there.
I give up! I'll never roll out another earthquake, so please forgive me. Perhaps I'll seek under the lake and sleep for a while. Yes, that's what I'll do.
So with him out of the way, we'll top off our HP and head back out. And I ran into these guys again and attacked the wrong one, but that doesn't matter. I'm strong enough to take him out even in the back row. Actually, I'm just going to go back and save, since it's there. Alright, make our way out of the cave. We can go back to town, but I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next area and wrap things up for tonight. Once we get to the next town, that ought to be a good enough point. Now, if you look on the map when we get back to it, that big tree in the bottom left corner is where we need to go to get our first capsule monster, so of course we'll go that way. Oh, the bridge is still out. A woman came a little time ago looking for you. A woman? Where did she say she was going? To the lake cave. I stopped her. That place is really dangerous. I see. The bridge will be fixed soon. People have been gathering since the earthquake stopped. So, it seems we were followed. Well, then again, I did leave town without telling anyone to go on this journey, so naturally, no one has any idea where we are. Actually, I don't know if that triggered the event or not. I'm going to go back in town to double check. There's some event flags in this game that are kind of wonky. Let's talk to him. Okay. Oh, I thought you went to the lake cave. I did. Then you must have missed each other. Miss who? A young woman came here looking for you. I told her you went to the lake cave. A young woman? What was her name? She took off as soon as I told her, so I didn't catch her name, but she was quite a beauty. Oh, must have been Iris. See, my accents are hit or miss, depending on which one I try to do. I'm fairly good at some, lousy at others. I'm going to be practicing some of them for various dialogue options in this game, mainly because there are just so many speakers and dialogue. If we want to encounter the one who followed us, I believe we just go straight. Back! And yep, sure enough, Tia followed us.
Maxim!
Well, these guys aren't very smart. They don't try to take a hostage of the weaker party member. I should be able to one-shot them. We'll see these guys regularly later on. They weren't very impressive for experience.
Maxim!
Tia, what on earth are you doing here?
I felt like you were going away. I just couldn't help myself. Silly me, you're not going anywhere, right, Maxim? I know you are, aren't you?
Yes.
But why?
You remember the ball of red light that flew north?
Uh-huh.
That light has an evil power that could lead the world to destruction. That's what I was told.
World destruction? I can't believe that!
But it's true that monsters are increasing and have begun attacking people.
Even if that's true, why do you have to go?
The same person told me that I have the power to shatter that ball of evil light.
It's true you're stronger than most, but still...
I just want to know, Tia.
Know what?
Ever since I was born, I've known swordsmanship. No one taught me. I just knew. Why do I have this ability? What am I supposed to use it for? I have to know.
So, you're not going to change your mind, are you, Maxim?
No, I won't be able to see you for a while.
That's not true.
What?
Because I'm going with you.
What? No way! I can't take you with me, Tia.
Hey, did I beg you to take me? I run a weapon shop. I know how to fight.
Wait, Tia, don't walk around so fast. It's dangerous. She's walking the same normal walking speed.
I know that.
Oh, back attack. Now this is easier than the first battle. There's only one enemy. Are you crazy?
Thank you, Maxim. I'm so sorry, but I...
Alright, Tia, let's go together, but don't be so rash.
Okay.
And so Tia joins as our first party member. She is more of a mage than a physical attacker. If you take a look at her equipment, she has a fry pan, frock, small shield, and hairband. I think the chopboard we got are no better. So if we go back to town, we should be able to upgrade her equipment, which won't take long at all. Let's see if we happen to have anything she's... Okay, we don't have anything. Okay, yeah, the allies... my voice is cracking. The allies were able to be seated stand in the front or back row too. I don't know if it happens until you get 3 or more party members or not. We'll see. Oh, that's her! She's the one who asked me where you were. I guess you found her. Yet when you're in town, your entire party will follow behind you. And I won't repeat the same mistake. I'll get her equipment before seeing what magic she can get. Looks like a whip is the best thing for her. And upgrade to a headband. Oh yeah, I've got more than enough money for magic now. Don't be a problem at all. That would be very uncomfortable if someone greeted me like that. So she already comes with a few spells of her own. We'll just upgrade them. Now you can use magic if you want. I'm just a completionist. I get everything for everyone. Now we'll go ahead and call it good for this video. And we'll resume Lufia 2 in Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, either tomorrow or in a couple of days. So we'll see you guys then. Take care.